Hi everybody, and thank you very much for coming here today. We are going to talk about Jordan Peterson, the psychologist, the clinician who's been interviewed by the British GQ, or I'm not sure if I'm using the name properly. And we are going to talk about his body language and the body language of the interviewer and the way how he destroyed her and his presence of almost an Hannibal looking vibe of the clinician and the calmness and the steady hand, steady voice, and over argumenting and winning the conversation over the interviewer who had almost no chance to say anything because he was really the dominant one at that conversation. And I found it very interesting, especially from the body language perspective. I'm not going to talk about the content of the words. I'm not going to judge him, or neither I'm going to judge her. I don't really care what they are talking about at that very moment. I just want to I want to talk about the power of a nonverbal communication, especially in this clip, because his presence is made especially by the nonverbals of him, and her nervousness is also made by her body language and not the words, because in words they were both confident, but the body language betrays them. So that's it for the beginning. One claimer before I start. As I said, I'm only describing the body language. I'm not judging neither of them. I'm not here to say what's proper and what's not, especially in their conversation. I'm not talking about the content of the conversation, but only about the body language of those two. Also, if you have something you'd like me to analyze, please let me know. I'll be very happy looking at anything you'd be interested in, and I will do it, I promise. This interview is also to tip from one follower, so I hope you some of you, every one of you has some wish that I can fulfill. And if you have any questions, please let me know on Instagram or info@martinsamara.com. It's all down in the description, so we are sorted, and now we can start analyzing. In the first couple of seconds of the conversation, I like to speak about the seating arrangements and the way of he is sitting and she is sitting. So he is getting the clinician vibe, the therapy vibe from the beginning, from the very beginning. He is nicely dressed. He is sitting in a comfortable position, the one leg over the other. His fingers are interlaced and calmly resting on his lap. His face is calm and he is not going to move a lot. He's usually not moving quite a lot during his interviews, but this especially. When he is making his point, like when he's emphasizing on something, he's usually moving with his head. He is doing this kind of movement. He's kind of expressive with his head, also the facial expressions, but he is rarely moving his hands. So you can see during the interview that sometimes he is pushing his hands a little to emphasize on some point he's saying, but not very often. He is sitting in this position throughout the whole interview, and it's very powerful vibe of a clinician. He's saying that he's been clinician for a long time, and he is showing it by this type of body language, because he's very calm, he's talking very calmly. Also some moments he's not, but the overall appearance is very calm, very emotionless, and very Hannibal like. I don't know if some of you saw the Netflix series. I'm not sure if it's still on the Netflix, but it was on Netflix, called Hannibal. Matt Mikkelsen playing him, amazing, and it's very similar to this Jordan Peterson body language. So that's about him. And about her, she looks more tense than he does. I think maybe she's already preparing for kind of a difficult conversation. I believe she knows him, and she knows what he is capable of, and maybe he's a little bit in a stress before the conversation. You can see it in the way of she is sitting. She has a little bit more tense in the style and the shoulder position, and her hands are in a motion in chest and head area, which can work also as a barrier. And you will see it throughout the conversation that when she's being attacked, she is closing her hands together in front of the chest or the neck area, which is the creating of the barrier, and it's kind of self-soothing behavior. The way of they are both sitting is very bad for the conversation that could be at least in a calm manner, because they are sitting quite close to each other. I'm not sure if it's the real seating arrangement. We can't see the distances between them, but when they cannot face each other with the whole body, I think it's the a bit of mistake, because it doesn't create very good vibe when you cannot direct all your body towards the person you are talking to. And when they are sitting in this position, they are creating barriers, because his left leg, yeah, he is having his left leg on the top of the right leg, which is creating the barrier in front of them, and she does the same. So they are already having the barriers between them, which is not very good for them both. So that's about the seating arrangements, and let's dive into
something to do with the call to take on voluntary responsibility. I'm not exactly sure why that would be more necessary for men right now. I think it might be because our culture confuses men's desire for achievement.
At the beginning, at the conversation, he's speaking calmly, his blinking rate is kind of slow, and from the beginning you can see he's going to play with the words, and I hope she is ready for that, because it's not gonna good look for her. Now, and time 4.02, she is already breathing heavily, and they haven't even started talking about something controversial. So she is already getting ready for that, because when you are breathing in your chest and you can see the chest is moving a lot, that thinks that it's a shallow breathing. The breathing that when you are ready for fight, when you're running, for example, you are breathing here because you are ready for a physical activity. And when someone is in stress, it that they we as a human being tends to breathe over here. When you want to calm yourself down, you need to practice breathing in your tummy, in your belly, which soothes you down. But she's not doing that. So that's the first point that's interesting to see, that she is breathing in her chest at the beginning of the interview. He is breaking an eye contact quite often as he is thinking about what he's going to say. You can feel that he is actually thinking about the words he is saying, so she cannot pick on any of the statements that he is saying.
That's for sure.
I mean, that's my idea of the patriarchy, which is a system of male dominance of society.
Yeah, but that's not my sense of the patriarchy.
So
once they start talking about the patriarchy, you can see yeah, well, that's my idea of patriarchy. When she says that, she is nervously shifting her body, and then she is interlacing her fingers, and which means basically that she is touching herself and she is starting a fight, and she knows that, so she is preparing herself for that. And then he's replying, that's not my sense of patriarchy, with a shoulder shrug, like, yeah, what we are going to do at the moment, you got it wrong, I'm right, and let's go on now, because there is nothing we can do about, probably you're not going to change my mind, and I will try to change your mind. He's great at expressing this, you got it all wrong, like what can we do with it, with his shoulder shrug. You can see it in next occasions in the video as well. So just another point that's interesting about what can you do. So when someone shoulder shrugs, it means that they are not sure, they are not confident at that moment. And when you are going to observe someone doing this kind of movement in a conversation while saying something, it means that he is not 100% sure about the thing he is saying. So while I'm saying, yeah, I went there and I'm going to shoulder shrug, it means that I am maybe making up something about that. But when someone do it as a reaction, he is doing the same meaning to the things that they said. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. What can you do about it now? And that's the meaning we are seeking for right now. Beautiful assertion of power is that when you are interrupting someone and giving them what you think and not letting them speak, when you have enough power to do it and those people obey to you, you are doing great at that moment, at that power play. So if you want to overpower someone, you want to express your power, interrupt someone and keep talking on your own and don't give them the room to talk. And he's doing it greatly here when they are still talking about something. Let's not talk about the specific things they are talking about, which could create confusion on what's the video purposely made for. But when they are talking about, when he interrupts her for first time, as in the clip you've seen, you see that she tries to continue, but he overpowers her and he is taking his space. It's going to be my turn right now. And she uses the eye blocking behavior, deep inhale, and she leans away a little bit from him. It means that she's frustrated and she's realizing she's losing her argument. She just let him to have her turn to speak, which is the mistake when you are kind of making this kind of power plays. But it's not the end, because he's going to interrupt her almost immediately. Another point that I have written over here before we get to the second interruption is that when he often uses his left shoulder shrug as a kind of discreditation of some other opinions, some other people arguments. So when he's going to talk to you, and forget the sentence I just said, when he is about to discredit something, he is doing this shoulder shrug as we spoke about it in a previous section. And it means that he is not sure about what you just said, and he thinks that you are wrong about that part. And now we are getting to the second interruption, which she is not doing. She is not showing stress that enormously as in the first interruption. And during that second interruption, she is only having the bitter taste in her mouth corners, like this kind of movement. Like Mark Bowden is talking about it a lot in the behavioral panel videos. If you want to watch them, it's definitely a great watch, so I highly recommend them. And this bitter taste, bitter mouth, means that she disapproves what he has just done. But as I said, these are the power plays and she is losing, and he is doing a great job because he is calmly asserting power. He's not changing his body language very much. He's just giving more power into his words, and his credibility and his dominance is shining from him, and it's intimidating for her to get her place in that speech. And you can also see that he is nervous as well, because his blinking rate is quicker, maybe twice or three times quicker than it was at the beginning. And the higher blinking rate is, the more nervous the person is, the more excited that person is, maybe getting more to ready. Because when you are nervous, your kind of body moisture are drying, so you need to moisture them a little bit more. So that's the reason why the blinking rate is raising as well. So he's not that calm as well, but he is managing that way better than she is.
And that to me is a structure that has continued throughout, from a time when women didn't have the same legal rights as men to now when they mostly do, but culture still lags behind it. I don't think you and I are necessarily talking at such cross purposes. It's just that your conception of patriarchy, as I see it in the book, is that quite a lot of men are quite nice and they do nice things for women.
In one of my courses, I'm saying that listening, or in some interviews as well, I'm saying that listening is a body language thing, that you need to express it non-verbally, that you are listening to someone. You have to be an active listener. And as he is a clinician, he is great at it. And when he wants to be like cooperative, he knows how to do it properly so it looks So it feels great for her at that moment that he's listening to her. He does all the necessary nonverbal traits of listening, which is nodding, humming, like humming. I'm not sure what's the proper word for it, but let's say humming, yeah, and lowering and tilting his head, which is like, yeah, okay, go on, I'm listening to. When you are doing that, you are expressing nonverbally that you are really intently listening to the person sitting in front of you. And that's important if you want the people in front of you feeling nice and that you pay attention and you respect them. At one moment, he is really doing that towards her, and I think it's a great reminder how important is it that you are doing this kind of active listening. But there are also situations that when he could do it, he should do it, but he is not doing it on purpose because he doesn't want to give her that confirmation that he agrees with her and listens to her intently. So it's kind of the power play. It's all like one big play, and he is way more competent to play this kind of games from experience of being psychologist, being a clinician, and being very skilled at the interviews and very skilled at the power plays, because he is apparently destroying and almost like killing people in arguments quite often. So that's just a quick, and that's it for now. I don't want to make a 2 hour long video, so if you wanna me to continue on analyzing Jordan Peterson's body language during the interview, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'd be very happy doing like the second part of the video, even the third or fourth. I just need to know that you like it as well. And let's skip to the last part of the video. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm very happy that you made that time to watch it. I hope you're still interested in body language, and if you have any questions on the body language, please let me know. I'm very happy talking to body language even more on private messages or in the comments or wherever you just feel like talking. And if you want to learn more about body language, there is a free course that I'm offering, which is called Hidden Science of Attention, and it's full of some videos, some exercises, how to be attentive to body language. It starts with a non-body language exercise, but observational exercise, and then when you progress in the course, you get also very basic but very effective observational exercise on being more aware in a situation that you are in. There is some score sheets, there are some there are some articles. It's a great course, so if you want to grab it, there is a link down below which will take you to the landing page. There are also some other courses that I've created. There is a link to my Instagram where I'm the most active, so if you want to learn more on body language, it's a great place where to go, of course. Link to my website and some of the other videos if you are interested in. If you like the videos, the kind of format of videos that I'm making, there is a great video on, for example, Prince Andrew or the Pope when he was attacked by one of his followers, which is also a great video, or the analysis of a Joe Biden's president-elect speech. If you are interested in any of these videos, you are free to check them. I'll be only happy. And please share the video, like the video, write some kind of comments. The best is the positive comments, so I hope I will see some of them. And that's it for now. See you with the next video, and bye.